Big screen or big stream? Which one is it that you're going to be spending your money at? That's what we're going to do on this podcast. We are going to help you figure out whether this week you should spend your money at the big screen, at the cinema, or stay at home on your sofa and be entertained for less than the price of a ticket.
Let's get ready to rumble!
My name is Tosin, and I am the host of Netflix vs. Cinema. I am based up in the United Kingdom in a place called Bromsgrove in the middle of the country. And joining me, as always, on the Isle of Wight is Shaun Bugman Harris.
Hello, hello.
Also on the Isle of Wight is Sharon Bollen.
Hello, I need no nickname.
No, you need no nickname. I think you need nickname because the thing is, I could say Shazza, but I just don't feel like you're a Shazza.
I'm not a Shazza.
You are not a Shazza. you are as far from a Shazza. You're a Sharon.
Yeah.
That's like, what nicknames have people given you in the past? Which have any of them stuck?
No, not really.
What about you, Toes?
Dad or Shat, that you get the odd one, but no, it doesn't really stick.
Okay. All right, cool. With me, first, there's some friends from back in Nigeria who still call me TC, which stood for Top Cat. You know, Top Cat.
That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about our Holly?
Yes, London correspondent Holly. Yeah, nicknames.
Hole, usually. Or holes.
Yeah, no, so people just call me Toes. So people call me Toes. Yeah, that is it. But
I did have another nickname once that stuck. It sort of stuck for a year. I don't know why. It was Harry, probably Harris, obviously. But I said, "Hey, come on, Harry, let's go." I got called Harry, but I prefer Bugman.
Well, the thing is, I reckon that Shaun, you're the kind of person who has had many nicknames.
I've had a few, not very colourful names as well. But
yeah, the thing is that you are a nickname guy. Like for instance, you told me there was a time when they called you Chopper.
Chopper Harris, yeah, been called Chopper a couple of times. Yeah. Chopper Harris. Yes, that was quite a common one as well. Yeah.
Yeah, but apart from that, I don't really think. I think I've had Toast, but I think something about me just doesn't say nickname.
I give nicknames. I do give nicknames, although I haven't to you guys. But apart from Toes, but like the people at work, I've got the Grey Baby, Paulus, the Woodland Gnome, and Pietroff. But Pietroff was the person I spoke about on the phone. So he's like a work colleague today. So yeah, it was last week. But anyway, that was so nicknames are quite handy. But I'll think of some for you if you want one. Or do you not want one?
But hey, I think the best ones are the ones that just come out naturally out of something.
Do, definitely.
Yeah, and if that's the case, if something comes out naturally, I am willing to accept it. But as long as it's not a mispronunciation of my name,
yeah,
I hate those. There was a bit where somebody was trying to make Toast Man happen. I was like, no.
Oh, that's not good.
I was like, no, Toast. They're like, oh, Toasty. No. There was time when they tried to make and for me the absolute peak, the worst is when people try and call me Tosin. And
that's not good. No.
Someone says that, and I want to slap them.
No.
I very politely refrain from slapping them and try and correct them. But when someone calls me Tosin, in my mind, I'm slapping them. So,
To be fair, don't forget my first name's actually Sarah, and people always say that's Sarah. So.
All right, cool.
I have not known that in 26 years. This is the first time I'm hearing that your first name is actually Sarah. You've been walking around lying to us.
Yes,
this holds up.
I have my whole life. I have never been called Sarah except for 1 year in my early 20s. And it felt weird.
Okay, so
Sarah before I was born. I was born and my parents decided I looked like a Holly. They wanted me to have choices, so they gave me Holly as a second name and used that. My mum's excuse is she'd just given birth. My father's, no, I've never been able to get to the bottom of it.
Your father's was like, your mum had just given birth and yeah, I was scared.
Sure.
Three of my uncles and one of my aunts were known by their middle names.
It's quite
It was a thing. It was a thing in my family, yeah. Because when people, look at I look at their like family tree and birth and death certificates, it's like, who's Gilbert? I don't have an Uncle Gilbert. But no, I had an Uncle Jack.
Yeah, we've got a few of those.
Yeah, it's okay. Okay, now films. Yes, we were going to talk about things that we've seen. Right, and so let's kick off with what we've seen in the cinema. Now, I think that there are a couple of things in the cinema that we have not already reviewed, but I feel like they might be few and far between. But let's kick off. What have we seen in the cinema this week, Shaun?
I'm afraid I haven't seen anything in the cinema this week. No,
Yeah.
Not a thing.
I had a feeling it might be that kind of week.
I've had some things going off, so yeah. So
yeah, you were saying. I think we're going to dedicate this show to
Pietrov.
Pietrov.
Peter.
Yeah. Who you said like you unexpectedly lost a friend.
I don't know if Sharon ever met him. You might have done. He was sort of bold. A film. I don't know if you were aware of a film called The Hills Have Eyes.
Oh yeah. Yes, I have met him.
I haven't. Met him, haven't you? You met him,
at
Pete.
The quiz.
Yep.
Yeah,
at the quiz. Yeah, at the quiz with the tattoos and everything. Him, and he'd have been 60 next month. So.
No age then.
So if you've met him, you know at the quiz. Yeah, at the quiz.
Sharon, the quiz that the quiz that I first met Shaun and Sharon at. Yeah. I don't know when you guys met, but.
So we would have been the same time as you met Holly. So Pietrov. So I used to go in the mornings and put my arm around him like that and rub his head, like shine his head, and say, "How are you?" And he used to call me all sorts of nice names, you know.
He used to call you all sorts of nicknames, like loving nicknames.
More like profanities. He used to utter profanities to me and say, "Get off me." So that was quite fun. So.
Okay. All right. So yes, dedicating the show to Pietrov, and Sharon, you cinema.
No, I have had a bit of a sort of fallow period at the cinema. I haven't seen anything for the last 2 weeks, so no, I have nothing to share.
But there's not a lot on actually.
But Sharon, Cineworld is making money off you. They're cheating you out of the money you've paid for your Tony Limited.
Yeah, I might just have to go and watch something really lame. But no,
come and watch Akira with us on Tuesday with me and Happy John.
I'm away this week. I'm going away next week. It's my mum's birthday.
Oh,
she's 92, so we're going to have a little holiday in Dorset just for a week.
Superb.
Okay, yeah, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, Sharon. I can tell you this week. I can tell you something you definitely shouldn't watch when you finally get to the cinema. Okay. All right, Holly, you.
I've seen nothing in the cinema either.
Yes, and that's what we see. It's that kind of week in the cinema where all of a sudden, like, a couple of months back, we were complaining about how they had 1 week in which they released 6 new films, and they were all original films that weren't based on a sequel or anything like that. But they released them all in the same week, and then you have this week where you're like, there's a little bit out there, but like for instance, I'll tell you the things that are in my local cinema that I would have watched there's Yumi and Tuscany.
Yeah, I've seen that. It's on the island as well.
Oh yeah, Yumi and Tuscany, which that looks like a poster tells you the entire story of the film. If I ever saw one rom-com. There's California Scheming, James McAvoy's directorial debut. Is that on the island?
Yes, that was on the island last week. Yeah.
Okay, cool. If it's still there, sure.
Still be here. Might still be there.
Shaun, I reckon you might like that one.
Okay.
California Scheming, because I saw a documentary about this story, and this was a couple of years back, everything like that. I saw a documentary about this story, and it's a bit mind-boggling about these 2 Scottish guys who want to make it in the rap industry. So they go down to London and they convince everybody they're American.
All right, okay, that'd be interesting.
And it got to the point where they actually had a they had a record contract and everything. And then there's the Magic Faraway Tree, the Enid Blyton.
I was tempted to see that, but I'd need to go and see that with someone, because I used to go out with a girl. His name was Julie, and she used to read the Magic Faraway Tree book. And I remember like Moonface and stuff. She used to go on about this Enid Blyton, which I wasn't aware. I was aware of other Enid Blyton stuff, but not the Magic Faraway Tree. But I remember she used to read it. Like we'd grown up, but she used to read it to me.
Yep.
No, I don't know. So I'm tempted. I was tempted when it first came out, and then I thought, no, don't, Shaun. It might be. It'd be full of children, kids, and that, and this is that.
Sean, that never stops me. I'm
Doesn't it?
constantly like, the only guy in there with animated movies with like people with their kids, and I'm just kind of like, I do have kids, but this is for me. This is for me. And I'm actually, and then there's Fuse spelt with a Z.
Yeah, I would have watched that, but the times is like really weird times. It's like 2:30, and then it was 8:30, and then it was the times for Fuse. I don't know what's happening with Cineworld because the times are like awful at the moment. They're all over the shop, and that's part of the reason. That's part of the reason why you can't. I mean, I used to love going to like after work, so I go straight after work. But there'll be a couple of things next week I'll go watch.
Yeah, and there's Father, Mother, Sister, Brother. The Jim Jarmusch movie. So it's okay. So having said that, there isn't that much out there. There's actually 5 films that we haven't seen in the cinema. There's 5 films we haven't seen in the cinema, which we could have watched this week. I mean, I'm going to use the excuse, my get out of jail thing for everything in life at the moment. Oh, sorry, children. They did something. They blew up my bank card, which is not far off the truth. But I have seen the Super Mario Galaxy movie. So God help us all. That is what we have to represent cinema this week. The Super Mario Galaxy movie. Okay, how about at home? Let's go with one thing each that you guys have seen at home, and we'll go with that way.
Okay. Well, I watched Nightmare City, a film called Nightmare City. I think it's also called City of the Dead or something, which I watched because I was watching a lot of different things on YouTube. This was something that Quentin Tarantino said Planet Terror was based on. So. Watch it.
All right, cool. Interesting. Nightmare City.
So Nightmare City, yeah. So that's basically what I watched, and I watched a lot of other stuff. I watched Nosferatu again. It's on Sky,
Sky. Oh yeah, the Bill Skarsgård one.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Yes. So
I have seen. I'll pick a one I can share with Holly on this one. I've seen Thrash, which is a shark film on Netflix.
Just when you thought it was safe to get out and go back in the water.
Yeah, that's us.
Yes, because if you haven't listened to us before, Sharon and Holly, even though the one connection that they have, apart from me being able to be together, is this inexplicable love of terrible shark movies. So every time there's a new shark movie, they go watch it, hoping to God that it will be terrible. So they can add it to the lexicon of what was it, mega shark or avalanche shark. So
never forget Ghost Shark, the great white shark that only attacks people when they're wet. That's a classic.
What was that movie? What was that movie in France where they go up the sail?
Still the sound.
I know.
That was the French. It had an English title that was nothing like that. That was It had an English title
that was all right. That one we liked. That
giant mako shark. So
it was the Sur Le Seine, which means like under the Seine.
Under the river. Yeah.
Sur Le Seine, blah blah blah. No, I want a movie. I don't want just a translation of that phrase. Come on, Google, do better. It was called Under Paris.
Under Paris. That's it.
Yeah. For goodness sake, I mean, whenever they give these things like the English titles, they're just so forgettable. I mean, Sur Le Seine, you remember that? Under Paris. Yeah. Okay, cool. So, we'll go with that. We'll go with Nightmare City and Trash, and that's what we're going to go with. And, okay, let me kick off with the Mario Galaxy.
Was that going to be your choice, Holly, as well?
That, and the other thing I've watched is Luckiest Girl in the World.
Oh, I've heard of that. I don't want to. Okay.
For another day.
Yeah, we'll leave it for another day. But it's something that I'm gonna like to watch because I've heard that it's got like a controversial kind of topic, or it's a controversial topic to make a film about. Right. Okay. So let's kick off with the Mario Galaxy movie, and I'm going to spoilers, whatever. I'm just going to tell you right now that this movie is the reason why Netflix is going to win this week. So whatever Netflix brings up they're going to. So the Mario Galaxy movie, and this is the film that I would beg you, Sharon, I would beg you to please don't let anybody take you along to watch this film. Don't let anybody drag you to watch this film, because I know mutual friend Gemma and her husband is Ian.
Yeah, Ian.
Yeah, and I know, and this is the kind of thing that I can imagine that I think you've ended up in cinemas before where Ian has sort of like gone, oh yeah, and his enthusiasm for a subject matter has dragged you into the cinema to see something animated. Look, I know I'm fighting a losing battle with you anyway to try and get you to watch anything animated. Please don't watch this film. It's going to make my job so much harder.
I say, you told me.
Yes, no. I want this on record. I have told you, do not watch this film. Don't. Because this is the second Mario movie. So the first Mario movie, the Mario Brothers movie, was released, a couple of years ago, and it was massive. It made over $1 billion at the box office. The only film that stopped it that year, being the highest grossing film, was Barbie. That's how big it was, because everybody remembers how big Barbie was. Mm-hmm. The Mario Brothers movie was equally as big. And I remember watching that film and thinking, okay, it's a bit straightforward. I mean, I love the Mario games. I'm kind of like a Super Mario Brothers to Super Mario Brothers 3. That's like, and Super Mario World. That's kind of like my thing. So we're talking like, 80s, 90s, side-scrolling platform. There were things that they put in the thing that made me laugh. They had the Peaches song by Jack Black playing Bowser that went viral and was a genuinely breakout crazy moment in the film. And I remember saying at the time that, okay, the film is a bit basic, but what I can feel the studio almost holding the directors back and saying, oh, no, we don't know, no, nothing too crazy because we don't really. And I always thought, okay, but after they've done the first one and they've safely shepherded the first one to $1 billion, they will let them loose with the second one. And the second one, they're going to see something a little bit more no, it isn't. It isn't. I was so wrong. This film is, they've gone backwards, man. It's kind of like because in my head, I'm thinking, the first film and the popularity of the first film showed that people love these Mario characters, that you can do whatever and you're still going to make money. So why not as well try and do something good, or try and do something, because even if it's arty, even if it's out there, you're still going to make money. So do something good with it. But they seem to have doubled down on make something that is like a piece of corporate cardboard. And this film, any review you read about this film will tell you that it's terrible, and it is. And they'll also tell you that it's going to make all the money in the world, and it is currently making all the money in the world, because which makes me despair, because I feel like they're going to make a third one, and they're just going to take all the bad things, and it's going to be even worse. This film makes no sense. This film doesn't carry from one scene to another. This film is just kind of like, let's throw stuff at the screen that is recognizable from the video games. The only thing is where they use, the only bits of joy are where they use a piece of music from the game and then they forget about it. The opening scene where Mario and Luigi find Yoshi, it's kind of like, what was that for? Why that didn't attach anything, and then you have this, okay, cool, okay, and now we're gonna go over here, we're gonna do this, and it's just like a jumble of scenes put together that don't actually link up. That it's like, okay, what's the storyline? Does this go to that? Does that go to that? And that go to that? It just doesn't link up. You have this whole thing with Bowser where you had the in the first film. So the first one ended up with Bowser being tiny, and like you have Bowser and he's kind of like, doing like, oh, I'm a reformed character, and you feel as if they're about to do like a Fast and Furious thing where all of a sudden the bad guy becomes the good guy, but then they just forget about that, even though they've put a lot of effort into making you think it's going to be a good, and then all of a sudden it just kind of evaporates, and you're just like, what is this nonsense? Like, this film is only about 90 minutes. I checked my watch probably about 4 times during the film to see, and I'm a Mario fan. I like the first one, so my brothers were kind of like asking me about the film, and I was telling them, don't. It is crazy. It is rubbish. They've gone to watch it and they've been like, yeah, you're right. Because usually they go, you watch too many films, and you're being all critical about it just because it's not supposed to be high art. And they've gone, yeah, this was terrible. My brother went with his kids and he said like, it was good because he had a 30-minute nap in the middle of the film. So it is for the only thing I would recommend for this thing is if you have kids who you need to be distracted and leave you alone for an hour and a half, take them along to this, because there's bright things. Because I went to see it with my kids, and they were like, oh yeah, they really enjoyed that. They probably couldn't tell you what was going on because they just knew that there was Rosalina and there was Peach, and so yeah, but it's bad. this film is so bad. It's kind of, and it is directed by Aaron Horvath and Michael Jelinek, and the thing is, they make one of my favorite TV shows, which also turned into one of my favorite films, which is Teen Titans Go. They make Teen Titans Go, and Teen Titans Go is crazy. It's anarchic. It's all over the shop, but it's hilarious, and there's this humor, this heart that holds it together. Same thing with the film that they made. And I'm watching this, and I can't believe this is the same people, because I'm really sure that this was just the studio, I think it's Universal, just sort of saying no, and just killing almost any good idea that they had. Because for some reason, some characters from other shows, from other games show up, which have nothing to do with Mario, but hey, Nintendo World, and cross promotion, and we can make so much more money. And it's, I would give this, I'll give it a 2, and I think that's being generous. But to be honest with you, it's a 1.5. It's a 1.5. It is such a waste of time, talent, and energy. It really, really is. It's no good notes. As to whether I think you should watch it in the cinema or on streaming, I don't think you should watch it at all. I don't think you should watch it at all. I mean, the only reason it's going to make a loads of money is because parents need a break, and parents need their kids to leave them alone for 90 minutes, and that's the only thing that it's serving. But I feel like there's so many better things that still manage to give you the whole thing where you're distracted for 90 minutes and be good and fill your kids' brains with something. But this is a travesty. This one is horrible. 1.5 stars for the Mario Galaxy movie. And now we're going to go to Netflix and Friends for the things that are going to win this week. Let's kick off with Nightmare City. Shaun, tell us about Nightmare City.
Okay, Nightmare City. So this was on Amazon Prime. So I was, like I said, I go on my YouTube things and that, and I quite like Tarantino, and I think he just knows his movies so much. And he talked about this film called Nightmare City. I think it's probably got loads of other names, like zombies or whatever. But and he was explaining that it's Film Planet Terror is sort of based on this. So this is a 1980 film.
Yep.
He was saying the director, a bloke called Lenzi, apparently does these Italian movies and that, and he was going, they're not, I can't do an Italian accent, but they're not zombies, they're infected, and he does it.
Oh yeah.
Italian director goes, they're not zombies. So these are the first, this was the first, I'm borrowing from Tarantino, but these were the first time where zombies or infected run. So before 28 Days Later, before the remake of Dawn of the Dead. Anyway, so the film starts with this reporter. He turns up at this airport to cover this. There's been an explosion, like an atomic explosion, and this plane lands. And then when this plane lands, like loads of infected zombies. They're not zombies. Loads of infected come out chasing, and so the reporter goes back to his news station and barricades himself in. And there's these couple of other stories where the zombies sort of take over, but these are great zombies because they got guns and knives, and they can guns and knives. So they're not proper zombies. They're just infected, I guess. And I mean, it's really Italian super red gore, like
like the sort of Dario Argento, like the Dario Argento.
Proper Italian stuff. And then you've got like the military trying to work out how to contain it. And there's a really good scene where there's sort of like in a theme park up a roller coaster, and they're trying to. The zombies are trying to get them, and they've got machine guns and all sorts. It's fun. I mean, I quite enjoyed the story. I thought the story was quite good. I found the story quite good. The effects were really, really poor. Do you know what
ropey.
I mean? Yeah.
Well, were they ropey? Were they ropey by today's standards, or were they ropey even by 80s standards?
They were like, do you know what, they're exaggerated. So like if someone got stabbed, you see the wound going and then a big pile of unnatural looking blood. It was red, but didn't
but like hyper red.
Or whatever. So there was lots of that in it, and the acting, the dubbing probably didn't help because it was dubbed. You know, it was so quite bad.
Oh
dubbing.
yeah. That always ruins things.
Yeah, that brings things down a bit. But as for the story, the actual story was really quite good and acceptable. If it hadn't been for the makeup and the garish, gory effects,
Yeah.
that would be so. So yeah, so that's the story. And you've got lots of little other stories where there's someone looking for their wife, and says stay in the house, don't go out of the house. And of course, there's a noise. Oh, I better go out and see what. You know what I mean? So who's making that noise? Who's making that noise? And it's like, she's just been told, and then they've got a maid that gets infected.
Yeah, this is the thing, right? Because I remember growing up in Nigeria, watching all these sort of like horror movies and stuff, and essentially we used to watch and go, "What the hell is wrong with white people?" Because people would be like, "Ooh, there's noise outside. I better go. I better go investigate." And in Nigeria, it'd be like, "There's noise outside. Batten down the hatches. Pull everything closed. Go hide in a bunker."
Yeah, that's it. That's it exactly. But yeah, it's quite good with like when the military get together. There's a scene there, and they decide, "Oh, what can we do? What and they're thinking about actually blowing the place to bits." And obviously, the reporter finds out about this. So there's like a little, a few subplots, but most of it is just people being chased by zombies with knives and hatchets and guns, and other people running away and turning around, and like the cannon fodder, the ones that you think, yeah, you're going. We know you're there purely for the fact, like for a scream and a drag down.
Well, is it people that they show up in the first scene and you're like, oh yeah, you're not lasting.
You're gonna. We know you're gonna go. So yeah.
One of the best films I think for that is Snakes on a Plane.
Oh, Snakes on a Plane.
Snakes on a Plane. I remember watching that, and like the scene, the second, like every that film is made so knowingly, so that like each character shows up and you're like, yeah, you're dead. Yeah, no, you are not lasting.
It's like the old Star Trek things with the away teams, isn't it? Where people never, you get a couple that come along that you've never ever seen before, and you just know that something.
You're dead. We've never seen you before, and you're wearing a red shirt. You're dead.
Yeah.
And it's like in Snakes on the Plane, they have to be like, hi, yeah, we just got married. We're just coming back from our honeymoon. You're dead.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah. So there's plenty of that. But I mean, the story, I quite liked the story. I thought the story was quite good fun, and I mean, yeah, some of the makeup is a bit garish and a bit poor, and the acting is typical Italian, like you see in Italian movies, similar to the Italian westerns. But I had quite good fun with it. I quite enjoyed it. I didn't like hate it too much or that, and as I say, so I think this would be a straight down the middle 3 stars for me. This one.
3 stars.
It's worth, if you like, it's not something to go wow, but it's something you could watch on a Sunday afternoon or with a couple of mates, you know what I mean? Sort of just have it on. So
yeah.
It would have been. And as for the cinema or streaming, I mean, I think it might be quite interesting to see at the cinema. This would have been
especially if Tarantino is sort of giving it. You can imagine it being like a midnight screening on some university campus, some point or something like that.
Yeah. So,
okay, cool. So 3 stars for Midnight City. Yes, Netflix already punching down. Nightmare City. Yeah. What did I say? Netflix City?
Midnight.
Oh, sorry. Nightmare City.
Oh,
sorry. I'm looking at the title right now. I actually read Nightmare City, and someone said Midnight. Anyway, never mind. And now let us go on to Netflix, and we are going to talk Thrash. So this is a shark movie that I mean when I think Holly, you shared the trailer, and I was like, that looks very much like a film we already reviewed called Crawl, which was alligators. Cool. Yeah, but that was alligators in somewhere in Florida. But so tell us about this. Tell us about Thrash.
Well, that's the story. We are, as is traditional, in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Because that's where that and Australia where all the wildlife tries to kill you.
Yes, and there is a very big storm, very big, huge. And we have Jimon Hunsu there, and we have Phoebe Dinavor for reasons, who is very pregnant, and the storm overflows the levers or whatever, and suddenly there is water everywhere and bull sharks. And Phoebe Dunbar is trapped in her car by a branch, and Jimon Hunsu's niece is there. And then there are some children with very bad foster parents who are taking all of the money and using it to buy steak. Steak is an important feature, yes. And there is water everywhere, and there are sharks everywhere, and various people get eaten by the sharks.
Holly, when you said bull sharks, I was expecting a different kind of BS.
It could also be appropriate. And then also it turns out that there is a great white shark in the mix, because this makes total sense. The great white shark's name is Nelly. So we like Nelly, probably, maybe, kind of.
Okay.
Yep, and there is bad weather and rising water and sharks. It's terribly tense. I did it as an internet watch.
I thought was really exciting was the fact that there is a meat packing factory in this town.
Yes.
And caught up in the storm is a truck that's full of meat. And poor old truck gets broken in half. And you end up with this chum, basically, going out to sea in the middle of a hurricane. So it's just like, come to me, all you swimmy, bitey things.
And, don't forget again, the steak in the fridge.
The steak in the fridge.
It's tense stuff.
Are they
going to make it? Who's going to make it? What ridiculous death scenes are we going to find next? Why are you doing these things? Why is everybody balancing on tables? Why have you not actually left early when this storm is clearly about to happen and the weather forecast is telling you this? But no, you've decided not to go, especially when you're clearly about to give birth. So
these are all questions that you have from watching the trailer, and from what you're saying, it sounds like they do not answer any of them.
I mean, I know why the steak is there now. And I didn't know about the steak before, but I'm not sure if the steak is connected to the meat packing plant.
Probably they bought it from the meat packers, but it's not directly connected. But there's probably why that's their dealer was probably the meat packing factory.
Yeah.
So I feel like
is there any subplots to this to do with things or not really? Like subplot, the meat factory is not like a cover for drugs.
No, it's not a meat. No,
there's not cocaine sharks.
No, you're generous in asking whether there are subplots, but I'm not sure there was actually a plot either. So.
Okay, so with this, it feels like the only questions to ask is are we looking at so bad it's good, or are we just looking at bad?
Tricky one. I think probably bad, but it's disappointing because it's a good cast.
There is some enjoyable elements to it because you know what you're getting with a shark film involving pregnant women, teens in peril, nasty foster carers, and a meat wagon. You more or less know that that's a recipe for something in there, isn't there?
Yes.
A meat pie.
I bet if you Googled all those things, it would come up with the movie.
Yeah.
All those things you just said, Sharon, would you put that into Google, it would say, oh yeah, there's this movie Sharks.
Climate change as well, they get climate change in there too.
Yeah, well,
of course.
It's a category 5 and making landfall, and
it's all terrible.
To me when I told you not to,
what's wrong?
Your compost bin, your compost. Yeah, yes, there's there, but there's reasons.
Yeah. Absolutely sure there are reasons.
Okay, all right, okay, good. So with that, what did you guys think? Did you guys enjoy it? What was it like? Sharon, you go first.
Same. It was not good, but it was enjoyable.
Okay, Sharon.
I think it always. I don't think it gets a free pass as such, but I think to me it's almost like it's a given that it's probably going to be a 2-star film.
Yeah.
And then what other points you add to that is all depending on how much you're entertained by that.
Right,
but it's not really, the film is not actually going to be anything more than a 2-star film, whatever you dress it up. But it's like, well, but how entertaining is that 2-star? So I personally think it would probably gain sort of like almost like Make it a 2.75, almost a 3 because of the entertainment value, because it's just like, you know what you're getting. It's going to be good, but it's going to be entertaining to it.
Yeah. I think that's it. I think if you can enjoy a film, even if it's really, really bad, you've got to give it the benefit of the doubt. But if you watch a film and it's bad, and you're not really enjoying it, then it's
like when you have a film that has everything that says this is going to be bad, but you feel like they're still trying to take it really seriously. It's because everything you said about this film just makes me immediately compare it to Crawl. Crawl, which was the same thing. Florida, big storm, blah blah blah. Thingies break, alligators come out of the swamp and start going around the town and chomping and stuff. But then it's like, but with Crawl, I remember thinking, like, watching Crawl, thinking, okay, this is going to be stupid. It was one of those films that made it into cinemas during the pandemic, and you remember watching, going, okay, this is going to be stupid. This is going to be rubbish. This is a 2-star. But Crawl actually elevated itself because I remember watching, going, actually, they might do a couple of tense scenes in there, and they actually kind of there's lines of this that make sense as to why XYZ would be there and why people wouldn't leave and everything like that. I remember that with Crawl, and Crawl was a nice surprise in that. This sounds like it's just kind of like, brain off.
So I personally would give it a 2.75 because I think there's enough entertainment value in there to elevate it above the basic, but not quite enough, you'd say, it had a whole new point because of it. But yeah, it was. You know what you're getting, and I think we got it.
Yeah, and I would agree. 3.75 is perfectly reasonable. A 0.75 is, for amusement value. But it wasn't a very good film, but nonetheless, I enjoyed watching it.
Okay, 2.75.
Better than Monsternado, which takes itself, as we know, very seriously. And we then watched again immediately afterwards, just to compare and contrast.
Oh my God. The problem I always found with something like Monsternado is that you can see people in it who are really trying. Like, you can see the actors are really trying, and you can see that they're thinking, maybe this is going to be like a stepping stone for me. And you just kind of at the end just kind of go, I think it might have sunk you. All right, cool. So we thought that this was going to be a straight dyed, and I thought it was going to be a straight dyed and a wool win for Netflix and Friends this week because Mario. But it seems like Netflix and Friends gave it a good go. And tried.
They really fought for that lower place, didn't they?
I really fought to at least equal what cinema gave us this week. But yeah, it did turn out that yes, Netflix and Friends do win this week because all they had to go up against was the Mario Galaxy movie, which didn't even have a so bad it's good thing about it. They didn't even have like, oh, at least look at them, they're trying. It just had like no, we're just this is just a product placement exercise. But anyway, yes, so that's it. All I can say is please do get in touch with us, and please, if you are one of the few people who think that the Mario Galaxy movie is good, I really want to hear from you. I really want you to go. Please explain this to me.
That wordy guy.
Oh no,
but not you.
No, yeah, but not that guy. Not that guy on. There's somebody who's found us on YouTube and has found a thesaurus AI and thinks it's really clever to put stuff on there that's just a pain in the bum. It's like, but not you. Someone who's actually gonna come in good faith and honestly actually thinks that the Mario Galaxy movie. I want to see what it is I am not seeing because I ain't seen anything. Because I have not seen anything in this. But it's find us on Netflix via Cinema Pod. Not Netflix, on Instagram, Netflix via Cinema Pod. Find us on YouTube, find us on Facebook, and please just get in touch with us and let us know what it is you see, because I think this whole podcast started because we wanted to just sit down and talk about films that we'd watch with people, and I think let's just pass that on, and more people come sit down and talk about films with us. We would love to hear from you. But until next week, when probably all the things that are in cinema this week will be gone because films only last a week, unless you're the Mario Galaxy movie. Yes, we will find something to watch, and until that time, it is a goodbye from me.
It's a goodbye from me.
Goodbye from me.
Bye from me.
Thank you very much for joining us.